Hey YouTubers, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Today, I want to just preface this video, and if you don't want to listen to any of this stuff, then please make sure to just skip ahead a couple seconds. This won't take long. I want to say at the very beginning here that you should go down to the description section below and hit that link to go subscribe to Carthu's Dojo. This original concept of a video came up when we were having a really long discussion. I got in contact with him because I wanted to do a discussion like this, and we just talked about it for probably 2 or 3 hours without actually doing the video. So I'm pretty sure some of the stuff I'm gonna say in this video was originally his idea. In fact, the main thrust of it really is his idea. So if you like what I'm saying, then please make sure to go check him out because he's an awesome guy. He makes some really top-notch quality Dragon Ball content if you want more of that. But with that being said, also, I'm going to be taking this video a little bit slower. I'm not going to be looking at it in terms of trying to get everything out there as quickly as possible. My biggest thing, especially with my solo videos, at least for the future, is going to be if I don't script it, if I don't have anyone here with me, I'm going to keep the energy a little bit lower, and hopefully you guys like the more conversational tone that I'm going to be taking. Anyway, with that all being said, let's get down to the business of this video, and that is whether or not Dragon Ball Super Broly should actually kill off Beerus. And I know a lot of people are going to jump in really quickly and say, well, that just can't happen, because one of the things the whole Zamasu and future Trunks arc showed us is if the god or god of destruction, Supreme Kai or god of destruction actually dies, then the angel is nerfed and basically the entire universe is left in flux. I think that that would be a fantastic story development for any new series that Dragon Ball branches out to after the conclusion of this movie. In fact, I like the idea of Beerus dying and actually staying dead throughout the majority of any new series, or even just the future of Dragon Ball. I really think that his death can be something that actually matters and feels some big impact in the major world without actually having to get rid of his character, because as we've seen with Elder Kai, you can die as a god and still possess your body the same way that Goku was able to after he defeated Cell for the first time. I mean, Cell came back, but you know what I mean. This is something I think would also really help the future of the series and allow for a big shakeup, especially when we know that the Dragon Balls from Universe 6 and 7, the Super Dragon Balls in particular, are in those universes. And if there is no God of Destruction, there is no Angel, what happens to that universe and how is it left in flux during that time? Even though we get to keep a character like Beerus, does that allow people from other universes, does that allow other people to come in and start messing around because there's no hierarchy in that universe anymore? And we can see how that would kind of devolve into a good old-fashioned search for the Dragon Balls, but universal scale-wide story that I think a lot of people would gravitate towards. And really, if you break it all down, is probably the best way to bring back Dragon Ball outside of a major character like Broly actually coming back. And for me, it's really not unlike various characters that were introduced in Dragon Ball Super wouldn't want the Super Dragon Balls for themselves, or maybe you can just introduce a gang of characters or maybe one sole antagonist who wants to come and get the Super Dragon Balls for themselves. And Beerus dead actually makes it way easier for him, but that's a story that can rope in all the characters from Universe 6, heck, maybe even Universe 11, Universe 10, and all the other characters that we didn't get to see throughout the Tournament of Power, and we get a chance to introduce everyone. It becomes a grand universal hopping story, which I think a lot of people, myself included, really want that in Dragon Ball Super, or at least the future of Dragon Ball. That's the grand thing that we want from this entire series after they introduce the concept of a multiverse. Of course, when I was talking about this with Carthu, he suggested that, even though Whis is going to be nerfed and Beerus is going to be dead, even though he's still strong and probably could get involved, Broly's probably going to be a villain or introduce another echelon of villains that are stronger than Beerus, so we can't really do much to help. What are they going to do? We've seen Whis try his hardest to get Goku and Vegeta to at least submit or get excited about the prospect of being gods of destruction, but they don't really seem interested. And as I've already suggested in many other videos, it's possible that they can retcon it to have Oob be the new successor to Beerus at some point, but we still need to actually get there. And maybe Whis doesn't want to leave the universe in flux for that long. And Carthu suggested one of the interesting ideas would have Frieza actually step into the God of Destruction role for Beerus, at least during the time as they're waiting for Oob to grow up and actually be trained by Goku. This would explain why Frieza was brought back and all of those sly little comments he made throughout the Tournament of Power to suggest, yes, he is going to get the God's power and he might actually have some bigger plans of his own, and this is simply how it's going to play out for him. Maybe that's not his plan in Dragon Ball Broly. In fact, I think that would be kind of a ridiculous plan to have for Dragon Ball Broly, but if it just simply worked out for him and Frieza actually got a chance to run the universe the way that he saw fit and was able to rule it as the God of Destruction, but he still had to follow all of these ridiculous rules that Whis actually held him to me, that seems like a fantastic way of continuing the story, allowing Frieza to be a main character, kind of an anti-hero type of character that allows him to still butt heads with Goku and Vegeta, especially when Beerus is still there, has his physical body, and could probably incapacitate Frieza whenever he wants. To me, that's actually pretty awesome. I want to see that. And what Frieza would do and be like as a God of Destruction. I think he would actually be better at it than Beerus. And then simply we're waiting for Oob. We're waiting for Oob to grow up and be trained and stuff because he's going to take the mantle. And then what would Frieza think about that? There's a lot of story potential there. But I love this idea. And I have to say, I might, as I say in a couple other videos, I might bring this topic back with Carthu or with MJ or even Kanji or any of the other people that I talk to on this channel, because I think it would be fun to sit here with one of my friends and talk to you guys about, hey, what happens if this happens? You know, like, where do the Pride Troopers fall into this? What happens when, you know, Beerus isn't there to look after anyone and Champa just simply comes into the universe? Or what happens when Champa comes into the universe and Frieza tells him to get out, like, don't protrude on my territory, your brother is no longer in charge, or something? That is really like a fun concept, and we can sit here and paint pictures all day. But I just wanted to get this video out for anyone who is remotely interested in the concept of Beerus actually dying. For me, really, it really just boils down to Beerus dying is something that would mean major stakes for the future of the series. It would really shake up the world that we've come to know from Dragon Ball Super, but it doesn't mean the death and just simply getting rid of one of the main characters that Dragon Ball Super introduced. We have precedent for a god losing his life but still remaining to keep his body, and we have the idea that Beerus is still a main character in this show. And we have the idea that once a God of Destruction loses his life, then the universe, or at least the hierarchy of the universe, is put into place or put into some kind of a flux that would need to be filled by either Frieza or just simply left in a void before Oob can take the mantle. And Goku just tells Whis that, hey, you know, I have someone who's going to be ready for this mantle in a couple of years. Just let me train him. And that leads us into the very end of Dragon Ball Z. I really like this idea, and I think it's something that we need to do. Of course, I know a lot of people out there don't like this idea. They don't want Beerus to die because they feel like his character hasn't been completely tapped yet. There's still a lot of stuff for him to do. But I don't think we lose any of that either if he remains in his body and he can still go from place to place and have interactions with Goku and Vegeta and Whis and every other antagonist that they come across. It's just simply he's no longer the God of Destruction, but he is as strong as he actually is. And then maybe sometime down the line, if you really need to, or the story really demands it, you can bring him back with the Super Dragon Balls and then everything is good. This is just something I think would really help the story going forward. So guys, tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. In fact, as I said, I would love to bring this topic back with another YouTuber, maybe even a round table of YouTubers, and talking about what this actually would be. Tell us your thoughts, tell us your opinions, because we would love to bring that into the major discussion of this issue. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this approach for my videos in the future, especially these solo videos. I want to slow it down. I want to keep it more conversational. I want you guys to feel like there's time to sit there and comment while you're listening to me and actually have a chance to say something as you're thinking about it instead of waiting or just jumping in at the very beginning of the video because I'm getting out things way too quickly. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. It's been real.